9 that bottom lane. Envy wants to attack him when the shapeshift form wears off. That's what it looks like he's waiting for right now.
Oh, and he's keeping up with him too.
Yeah, and with the track movement speed, he's going to move very quickly. Bone7 blinks in. He might do a fresh track in a moment. That track's going to wear off in a moment, and actually the invis wasn't going to help him out there at all. But they try to throw the Mirana ulti anyway. But Rubik, wait, what?
Rubik, the wolves. The wolves.
Oh, of
Rubik
course.
stole wolves, and then they were also a part of the ganking power.
God, it's the Fnatic game all over again, isn't it?
Yeah, man, you got to keep eye on these wolves. They're all over the map. It's a really good ability for Rubik to steal, really good damage. On top of that, going on later into the game, really good scouting mechanism. You've got these invisible units just moving around the map. It's like old school Weaver, and when he had those little shades things that he can move around the map. They're just so damn good. Yeah, remember there was an iteration of Weaver who didn't have Swarm, but he had these little, it was the shades from
oh, that's true.
the Scourge units.
Dude,
they
that's like 2007.
Yeah, I know.
How are you remembering that? that was like familiar days. The
Bone7.
That's not what he wanted to be part of, but now he does. The AOD will connect, Universe is dead. The damage, even with the mech, the Shuri toss will connect, and look at Bone7. He's making sure he stays up there. Yep. Not a bit of experience will be lost in this case. But they get an easy kill out in the Dark series. He just got a little bit overconfident. But did he get most of that camp anyway, before death? I wasn't quite sure with the AE ulti flying in how much he got, because I was just focusing on the hero's life points.
Yeah, I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on whether or not he would get mech off before the Ice Blast, but didn't really seem to matter. That burst damage just a little too much. I'm still not convinced about the Blink Dagger from Bone7. The previous game that I saw him running it, it was a lot more impressive, but I still had my questions about it. I do like the mobility that the item grants you.
Oh, trouble. Yeah, arrow connects after Zai was able to initiate. He was walking around with that Vendetta for a while, but now Open Wounds rages himself up. The Shuri toss comes out from Bone7. Now, that was a track kill, 1-for-1 trade-off, while for some reason, I don't know if Pilot TP'd onto that tower or not, but mistakes were made, and he dies underneath his tier 2 tower on the top. And it ends up being a 2-for-1 with a tower advantage going the way of EG.
Yeah, this is really evil genius. I think Cloud9 just completely missed their mark. It's going to be really hard for them to come back now because the Lycan is pretty good versus Lifestealer. He's got good direct physical damage that overpowers a Lifestealer and his low armor. Until you get Lifestealer up to, AC Abyssal status, you can't really fight up 1v1 versus the Lycan very well. Feast will be able to help out because Lycan has a decent HP pool, but honestly, when you shapeshift like that, you get way too much damage out of your critical. It's just too much for a Lifestealer to handle. So Cloud9's movement was going to be that 15-minute mark with the track, with the Lifestealer aggression. They had such a big advantage then, but they just couldn't find the kills, and now Evil Geniuses should be able to control the map for quite some time.
You see that at C9, like, you want to control the map for some time. C9's trying to make sure it's 5v4. Then you won't be pushing into the downside jungle like you want to, even if you do leave aggressive observers and sentries behind to keep tabs on it all.
They know Zai's coming in. They saw him with the Ice Blast.
Yeah. Boom!
Oh, jeez.
That level 4 Shuri toss, man, sometimes you can really underestimate the damage. And now Moonlight Shadow. Envy has no rage. He has open wounds, which he's just like, Armor Toggle won't save him either. The AA ulti's trying to come in, hit on Arteezy. Oh, he went into it. Shapeshift form should have... Oh, actually, then again, now you can look at your thing. 500 life points. He holds them all.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, so I actually got a couple tweets from a couple different people. Basically saying that you can still gain HP when you do those sort of shape-shifting maneuvers. So shapeshift, apparently decay works, which I believe should be a bug.
Yeah.
That's just a straight-up stat gain. Not sure if that's actually true or not, but...
That'd be like dropping a bracer.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Anyway, so going back to the point of Evil Geniuses.
Oh, Pilot Eye. You cheeky devil. And what did he stole? He stole 4 points up in Starfall. So he's got an extra nuke. It requires him to be a little bit too close, however. But now the Blink Dagger has been revealed on the Rubik too. Once the Galleon on Sing Sing, I think Pilot Eye really thought he could get something there.
Yeah, but we're going to have a BKB soon for Lycan, and what do you have to stop him at that point in time? Your Venomancer is completely ruined at that point. Once you have a BKB on your cores, Venomancer is done. Like, that hero as a core is meant to be really aggressive and almost like a win by 25 minute status. Like, you're supposed to have a big advantage due to your early combat effectiveness with all the damage you output. The slow's really good. And on top of that, the wards give you pushing power, so you can actually take some early map control off of that.
What is Sing Sing meant to go into from here, by the way? Like, he's got...
Veil. You just go Aghanims, you go Veil. Venomancer, no, I'm going to, like...
Oh, this is smart.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
So Venomancer is, while he drops off going into the mid game, he's still a really, really strong hero late game. But he's strong as a support, not necessarily as a core, because his magic damage is actually really, really irritating to deal with. Once you start going into shorter BKB timers, Venomancer starts actually rising a little bit more as a support. However, he can't really compare. While he is decent going into late game, he can't compare to a true core.
And this is some cocky stuff coming out from C9. They're behind the 8-ball. The Moonlight Shadow scouting is coming out from EG. Now, they haven't scouted at the Roche pit. They don't have any vision here because there's dire observers and sentries, which is watching PPD. And now they see it. With the gem that's there, they realize it, but it's like, wait, what? Envy, I don't know if he's going to get out of here with the Aegis. The stun, oh, Zai! The vac back in again. That vac needed to happen first. Envy gets away with murder on Roshan.
Yeah, and they didn't even try and chase him. They probably assumed that Rage was still up, and Lifestealer could just, rage out and run away, and then they would be in a bad position if they overextended. So they just let him go. But he didn't even have that up. So he walks away. They steal Roshan. They steal Aegis. Like, that is such a big play, because that should have been all Evil Geniuses. They have a Lycan.
Yep.
Like, they're the ones who could take down Roshan really quickly, but Cloud9, they needed some sort of small advantage. That's definitely going to help, and maybe puts question marks in Evil Genius's mind. Do we push in up against an Aegis, or do we go ahead and let this game go a little bit later and just watch Lifestealer get, that much bigger? I think they could still take late game, but it's still, it's still going to be a little tough to deal with, especially since it looks like Cloud9 are getting aggressive.
Yeah, they're coming in for Arteezy. Straight up smoke in the mid. The blink they're going from Pylite Die means they can follow up with the telekinesis. The arrow's going to come in and Pylite Die comes a 5-second stun. And then the follow-up stuns from Zai. He gets Sing Sing as well as Owie 2000. The Oldie will go up from Sing Sing, but it will have little to no effect. Arteezy running around Envy. He can't reach him, even with the track bonus movement speed. He didn't have enough, and now the Wolves are behind him as well as Mason. The Aegis Immortal will hit. And Universe is going to make a choice. And the choice is to fight. The arrow from Mason. He's filling in from Fear. But that must have been like the end of the arrow which connected on the respawning Lifestealer. The timing was perfect. There was no time for Rage. And C9 lose 4 heroes. And nothing was really lost for EG apart from the next Assassin, who with his double stun follow-up after the arrow connected, shut down all of C9's response.
Yeah, and I think despite the fact that me talking about BKBs pretty much wrecking the Venomancer, I think Mirana's actually going to be going for Desolator here, because once you have Desolator on your ranged hero mixed in with the Lycan and his pushing power with Necronomicon minions, like, towers just melt. Let alone, I mean, this is also a really good build versus a Lifestealer, who has traditionally very, very low armor and is really hard, like, just direct physical damage is tough for him to deal with.
They really try to have a crack there at Lycan. The Veil of Discord is up for Sing Sing, but it's so difficult for him to get in close and take Lycan by surprise. So what's he going to do? Slither his way in? Like, there's no blink daggers. You could try 4-staffing him in, but actually, do they even have? No, they don't. There's not even a 4-staff available. No one's got any kind of maneuverability. I actually missed the chat trivia question.
Yeah,
Bone 7. We'll stick with him. Oh, they saw Zai! That Nyx Assassin really doesn't stop much damage. When you have that Infest jump out and then 4-point Shuri toss, just that damage is enough to drop him to about like maybe an 1/8 of his life points.
Just wait till they have an Abyssal up. Eternal Envy right now, he's going for the Basher, so he gets that Bash proc chance up against Arteezy, which is going to be a little disconcerting for Arteezy, considering the fact that your fast attack speed, like if he gets a couple lucky Bashes, they can actually hold Lycan in place long enough to kill him. So it's kind of tough.
Shit from two sides. Poor Nahaz. Statsman by day, father by day. And for some reason, the two of them really come and intersect. And it's kind of hilarious that Nahaz's real job is, in fact, a stats man.
Yeah.
Not in Dota. I actually don't know who he does stats for, but
as a
I don't know if he's
Skype.
proud enough of his company that he actually wants to say his name, say his company's name.
Yeah, well.
And stats for 322
it's on his
Incorporated.
It's on his Skype.
All right.
So, Bone 7.
Yeah.
Scythe of Ice. Scythe of Ice.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it, like, right now you are just a carrier for Lifestealer.
I'm not sure it's going to be a Scythe of Ice, man.
I like the idea. I mean, if you are looking for pickoffs, what's better than having a hard disable mixed in with your Lifestealer?
He just doesn't have the same stability though. But I'm down for that one, but they just won't have the time for it. Yeah, I was thinking Lincoln's and remotely considering Scardy, but EG, they're not waiting to see what he's going to buy. They push it. Damn that tower! There's no fortification. They're going to melt through the ranks, and there's no answer because they're missing players. Aoi 2000's up on the top lane. He'll finally throw the Aghanims ulti down. Sing Sing lets off a big ulti, but his life points just evaporate. And now Envy jumps out, but they got double stun back into a wall. Oh, it is beautiful from EG. It was the double frosted rainbow coming in from EG, and they get the GG call. They will take the first victory here in Stage 3 of the MLG TKO tournament and nudge their way forward to having the top advantage as well as being in the grand final with $30,000 up for grabs for just the US alone. It's a wonderful, wonderful competition, and EG off for a beautiful start. Who would have thought a month ago we would be saying this about like EG? Even when we saw Sad Boys first come out, like were you sitting there going, yeah, these guys got potential. Teasy, the man who was absolutely stupendous at playing so many mid-solos but feeding his way around. I wouldn't have said that they would be that convincing up against C9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very impressive. Cloud9, though, I think that it just simply came to the draft, and the fact that Evil Geniuses did a really good job executing going into that early to mid game, where once they avoided the Bounty Hunter, like this is why I was stressing it so much, once they avoided the Bounty Hunter, they were fine for the rest of the game. I mean, going late game, you have a Lycan, Mirana, Darkseer, all those heroes are going to do fine. Because you chose a Venomancer core, you're not like you're just relying on the Lifestealer. So you had to get so aggressive in the early to mid game, and since they didn't really find the pickoffs they needed to start turning that into towers and everything else, Cloud9 just sort of missed their timing and weren't really going to be able to come back after that.
No. Well, for now, we'll see if they can come back in game number 2. This is, of course, a 3-game series we're playing out tonight. Everyone in the MLG TKO Stage 3 plays up against each other 3 times. That's the way the cookie doth crumble. So EG and C9 are playing all their games this evening. So stay tuned, and we'll be back here for game number 2 of 3 for EG versus C9 for your action tonight from the MLG TKO.